Good afternoon. I wanted to come on here and do a flip through of my Project Life album. This is for 2019, excuse me, 2019. This is volume 1, which is January through June. And this is a Studio Calico album, and it's the 6x12 size. And most of the things that you'll see in here are from Allie Edwards, because I subscribe to her kits, so I have a lot of stuff from her. The first title page is Welcome to a New Story 2019, a picture of me and my husband, and this is our initials, Kevin and Tanya 2019, and that was carved into a bar. They let you do that at this one place we went to. Week 1, this was all about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So we like to eat a weird food for New Year's. So we had pho, I think that's how you say it. And we went out to breakfast here. We watched the Taylor Swift Reputation Stadium tour. We always have a fire and listen to vinyl. Week 2, I had a work trip to Long Beach. So we rented a car, we drove out to Long Beach. These are people that I work with. And then at the end of that trip, we ended up going to Vegas, me and my husband and my brother and his wife, to celebrate my birthday. So that's what this insert is here. We went to go see Blue Man Group, which none of us were like super excited about going, but we had a blast. We really loved it. We stayed at Bellagio. We had an awesome room with a fountain view. That's what that is. And then I don't like to gamble a lot in Vegas, but I like to go shopping. So we went to Tiffany for my birthday and got me a little charm, which was fun. And then this is my sister-in-law and I at Blue Man Group. Hopefully this isn't glaring too much. Week 3, I ended up getting sick. I had a cold, and I guess it was the flu. I got sick with the flu, and it was my birthday, so I was like, happy birthday to me. I got the flu and a Gilio. So this is a planner that I bought myself for my birthday. We went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody. This chart right here is my blood sugars, because I have diabetes, and it's supposed to be within that gray bar right there. And when I get sick, it just goes crazy. And so you can see it was like off the charts right there. It was just really crazy that day. So, or this was one day. Not good. So thumbs down to this week. Week 4, still not a whole lot going on. I think I was just trying to recover a little bit, catching up. So I was working on my January one little word from Allie Edwards. That's what these are. Sleeping a lot, and then I work on archiving my planners, so that's what that is. And I love this quote, buddy, I'm just trying to make it to Friday. And that's pretty much how I felt. My hair was crazy. So let's see, week 5, running on empty, so still kind of tired. We were watching JFK Declassified Tracking Oswald. I was working on my one little word for February, and I went to Barnes & Noble, and Kevin came with me, and he was bored out of his mind. He was sending me texts, which I wanted to include in here because I thought it was funny. I ended up getting frozen shoulder, which was very painful, and I ended up being in physical therapy for 6 months, I think, every single week, at least once a week, sometimes up to 3 times a week. Oh, and I recorded this video once before, and I realized that I had all kinds of personal information in here that I really didn't want to share or was not comfortable sharing. So I'm re-recording this, and I covered up all of my journaling or things that were private that I didn't want to share. So these 2 pockets here, I just took directly out of my journal. So it was stamped with the time when I wrote in my journal every night, and then just what my journal entry was. But I had some things in there I didn't want to share. Week 6, we ended up going to this arcade. It's like an old school arcade, which was a lot of fun. So they had pinball machines, they have like old video games like Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man, and just lots of fun. We went with our friends. And then they have like lots of cool retro art and comic characters and stuff. So it was really, really cool. And then my journaling is hidden under there. Week 7, we went on a little mini trip to Bisbee, Arizona, which was fun. Just my husband and I to kind of get away in the spring. It was Valentine's week. My husband always draws on our hard-boiled eggs. And so this was the Valentine's edition with the little conversation hearts. He sent me flowers, balloons. This is falling down and I need to fix that, but I already, what's the word? Shut it. But we went to Bisbee and they have like they have a copper mine there. So that's what that's from. I don't know if this is in frame, but you can see like the full pano of the hotel room that we were at. I hid that because it had like the little key to get in the room, the password key. This is us at the bar there. This is the same picture as on the front, but I made it black and white on the front. And then I have some hidden journaling here about our trip. Week 8, again, doing more organizing. These are all of my Allie Edwards kits. So I organized them into a little index card box, which was cool. This is me at my physical therapy. My therapist's office is called the Dungeon Lair, and I said it really should be called the torture chamber because it was horrible. So I didn't like having to go in there. It was also the week of the Oscars, so I put just some stuff that I really liked about the Oscars, like, I mean, who wouldn't love that necklace from Tiffany? And some of my favorite speeches from the night. I loved Lady Gaga's dress, and I have her quote here. If you have a dream, fight for it. It's not about how many times you get rejected or fall down or get beaten up. It's about how many times you stand, are brave, and keep on going. And then my husband and I always do ballots. So we fill out a little ballot, Oscar ballot, and then figure out who wins, who gets the most correct. And that was the first time ever that I won. Usually he always wins. Week 9, I decorated for St. Patrick's Day. Obviously there was not a lot going on this week because it was decorations and binge watching Mr. Robot here. And I was making a difficult decision, and so this was kind of like a quote that I put on here to remind myself of that time when I was making this decision. And again, I covered up some personal stuff here with the journaling. Week 10 was starting to be spring weather. I was working on a project on my goals for One Little Word for March. My husband went on bike activities. I think it was bike week. And I was reading. We went to breakfast. And this was my husband working on the table that I'm filming this on. He made me a craft table. Week 11, we went to Park City and Salt Lake City, Utah for my niece's wedding. So that's what this is. This is me and my niece. This is me and my other 2 nieces. I love them. I don't get to see any of my nieces very often, so I'm happy when I get to see them. Postcard. This was in Park City, and Kevin was amazed at like how much snow there was piled up. So I had to take a picture of that. I covered up their faces because I don't know if they care about being on the video, but I didn't know, so I just covered them up. I don't think these girls will care. We went to the Olympic Park in Park City. We actually went to the Olympics there in 2002. So we went to the Nordic ski jump, which is crazy. It doesn't look that bad when you look at it on TV or, you know, like a picture of it, but it is insane. So anyway, we went back to take a look at that. And this is the wedding invite for my niece, so I covered it up because it has personal information on there. Week 12, I went back to Long Beach again for work. I had to get up at 3:45 a.m., which I am not a morning person, so that was not fun at all. Me in my work outfit at the hotel. This was related to my diabetes, so I decided, for some reason, I don't know why, that I wasn't going to take, well, I do know why, because it's a pain in the butt, but I decided I wasn't going to take my insulin pump because when I go through security, I have to get patted down because it can't go through the system, through this, through the backscatters or any of that, or the metal detectors, can't go through the x-ray machine. So you have to get hand patted down, which is annoying every single time. So I was like, I'm not going to take it. I'll just take injections while I'm there. That didn't turn out so well because my blood sugar ended up registering as high, which means it was over 600 and it should be normally like around 120. It was over 600 and didn't even register past that. So I don't know how high it went, but it was not fun. Here I just put what was in my work bag. So just a list out of everything that I kind of take with me in my work bag. My husband threw out his back. Didn't have fun. So this week was not really a very fun week for us. Week 13, we were celebrating my 1-year valve anniversary is what we're calling it. And that's 1 year since I had open heart surgery to replace my mitral valve. So I have a mechanical mitral valve. So we went out to dinner with that. I did a journaling page about my heart valve because it ticks. So some people can hear it ticking. And so I get that, what's that ticking sound? I get that sometimes and it's kind of annoying. So I did a journal page about that. It was good weather here in Arizona. So we went on lots of walks and my husband bought a new Harley. Week 14, we went to Dallas. I had to go for work and we ended up just turning it into a combo trip with work and a personal trip. So let's see, this here is before we went. This was my craft room. I was working on getting my craft table set up and my cube shelves. My husband sent me flowers from my 1 year of when I got out of the hospital after having my surgery. And then we went to Dallas. We went to the JFK museum. It was the 6th floor museum at Dealey Plaza. It was a lot of fun. This was our travel itinerary. We went and ate at Campese's, which is where Jack Ruby went right before he went and shot Oswald. That was really good food. It was a good restaurant. I liked that one a lot. And my favorite was the Texas Theater, which is where they found and arrested Oswald. And there was nobody else there at the time. So the people that were, except people working there, and they let us go all around in the theater. We were able to go explore all the different theaters, all the like little rooms that they had there. It was so cool. That was a lot of fun. The next week, we were still in Dallas for work. I got through with my meetings early, so I was able to go hang out at a little coffee shop with my husband, and we worked from there. He also works from home, so we travel together a lot. When I have to travel for work, he comes with me. And I was listening to Underline the Black, which was my song of the year last year. This is by Metric on their Art of Doubt album, if you want to check it out. I also sometimes include current events, so I thought it was pretty cool. This was the first time that we were able to capture an image of a black hole, so I included some info about that. And I don't know if I covered that up or should have covered that up, so it's my journaling about the trip. When we got back, Kevin went on a motorcycle ride, and he was kind of breaking in his new bike. And then me and a bunch of my people that I work with, we got these shirts, FML, Fluff My Llama, and we met up and had kind of a work party. Again, I covered them up because I wasn't sure if they wanted to be on a video. And this was another picture of us doing a selfie. There was like 5 of us in a botanical garden we went to with them. Week 16, as you can tell by the black clouds, it was not a good week. I was really sick here. I got the flu again. I had the flu twice last year, and it was not fun. So this one was really bad. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I did this week was have the flu. And I put Notre Dame when Notre Dame was burning down. So I binge watched the OA while I was not feeling good. Week 17, I was still a little sick, didn't have any energy, so I mostly just binge watched TV. So I binge watched Bob's Burgers and The Bold Type, and this is from Bob's Burgers. I don't know why, but I wanted to like see the layout of the restaurant and their house in the show, so I looked it up online and found that. I ordered some washi tape. This is from, oh my gosh, Allie Brown, from her Etsy shop. I love this washi tape. And I had some ice cream when I started feeling better. Actually, it's a tradition that we have. So on the first 100-degree day of the year, we get ice cream. So that's what that's from. And we hit our first 100-degree day of the year on April 26th. Week 18, again, not eating so well. Went to Dunkin' Donuts, and it was starting to be spring in the yard, so we had lots of pretty flowers. We went and saw Captain Marvel, and I went shopping for summer clothes. Week 19 was not very good, again, as you can see. So my mother-in-law fell and hurt her hip and ended up having to have hip replacement surgery. So my husband went to where she lives, and he ended up being there for 10 days. And so I was home by myself for 10 days. So I just worked, and it was kind of boring. So I put what I was binge watching, Dead to Me, and Current Event, where Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had their first child. It was the Met Gala, which I love all the fashion. So I picked just some outfits that I liked and put them in here. And then since I was home alone, basically technology became my life that week, my lifeline in order to be able to socialize. So some texts with my husband. And I got these from Allie Edwards. That's where these are from. And yeah, just included some text with my husband. This is a text with my mother-in-law. FaceTime with my husband. And I had one of the worst days at work ever. So that's what that is all about. And this is, if you pull out this vellum underneath, it has a sticker on it. Underneath there, it shows like what was going on. This is my calendar at work. And I got a new haircut. Since I had my surgery, my hair, I had an allergic reaction to the antibiotic, and my hair fell out. Like a lot of my hair fell out. So you can see it's like really thin, and I keep having to cut it in order to cut off all the dead parts of it and try and meet, get it to meet up to where it's coming back in. So my hair is kind of a mess. So that's why I'm documenting that there. Week 20, my husband was still out of town. You can tell he's very tired right there. We did more FaceTiming and texting. I was just kind of keeping myself busy by working on my crafts, which is fun. And here I was working on my craft room last year, getting it set up. So this is a pano of my office from One Direction. And then if you flip it this way, which is going to be hard to see because of the inserts, this is the pano from the other side of the room. I don't know if you can see that at all. This insert, again, I pulled directly from my journal, but I didn't want to share all that on here, so I covered it up. My parents came out, and we went out to dinner for Arizona Restaurant Week. Week 21, we're fully into summer now. It's in May. I ordered two Giglios. This is a planner store, if you're not familiar with planners, in Belgium. And I got up really early because they had a release. I think it was 2 p.m. their time, and it was like 5, either like 4:30 or 5 or something our time. And I got up and their site completely crashed from so many people trying to order planners, but I was able to finally get in. I got flowers for my mother-in-law for letting my husband come out there and take care of her for 10 days. More motorcycle ride stuff for my husband. We went and saw Avengers Endgame, and you know, everyone thinks he is eye candy, and then you open it up and it's Fat Thor, which is funny. I thought that was hilarious. And then this, I was preparing for a medical procedure the following week, and I had to take these injections. So this has to do with my heart valve because I take blood thinners, and you can't take them when you're having a procedure. So you have to take this other medicine, and it comes in these really huge, thick needles. You have to give yourself injections, and it hurt. It was so awful. So I had to take a picture of that. So this week, again, working in my craft room, working on planner stuff. I had, this is my procedure that I was talking about. I had a colonoscopy that week. That's what this card is. My sister sent me this. She makes really cute cards. Covered up her address. It was also Memorial Week. So we ordered some barbecue. And I actually was off of work this week because I had the procedure and it was Memorial Day, so I just took the week off. We went shopping, we bought a new couch, and this is our receipt for the couch. That's what that is. Week 23. I liked how this page turned out because it ended up being like things that are make me me and things that I like, and then this side is all about things that make my husband him and what he likes. So I kind of like how that turned out. So here I'm showing my summer purse and mani and my planners that I was switching out into a new planner. And things that make me me are planners, notebooks, journals, photography, memory keeping, purses and bags, and organizing. And then over here, I went out to lunch with some of my girlfriends and I covered them up because, again, I don't know if they want to be in here. This is my husband's side of the week, the spread. So this is what makes him him. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, nature, camping, music, helping others, and socializing. And this is, he was getting ready to go on a big motorcycle trip with his new bike. So he was cutting a windshield for the bike and he was getting stuff ready. That's what this is about. And then back here, I have some hidden journaling, which I'm not going to share. Week 24, it was definitely starting to become summer and hot every day. Oh, I think I just lost my sunlight. It went behind a cloud. So we had it was around 100, low hundreds to 110, 111 here. So I put "Here Comes the Sun." It was hot. And when it gets hot, we start not going outside because it's just too hot. And so we do a lot of movie watching and things inside the house. So this week I decorated for 4th of July. I binge watched Russian Doll. Looks like I was in physical therapy. And we were redoing our living room. So since we bought the couch, we decided we needed to paint the walls. And so we were looking at all different kinds of paint, and we finally decided to go with this dark blue paint. It's like a navy. And we went out to breakfast. Week 25, I was into my scrapbook room working on crafts here. Looks like I was working on Project Life and One Little Word. I got my mani done, and then we decided we were going to watch all of the Marvel movies in order. So I kind of made this chart, but I got some of the graphics from online. So we ended up watching 7 movies that week. Like I said, we watch a lot of movies because we have to stay inside when it gets too hot. This was just a picture of my planner archives. And I started reading Bullet Journal Method here and Nevernight, which I still haven't finished that, but I want to. And week 26, I think this is the last week in this book. Summer, again, we went and saw MIB International, which was not that great. We watched Marvel again. We watched 6 movies that week. This is just talking about how we're watching the movies and not really doing a whole lot. Enjoy life. This is my husband's list of all the things he was getting ready for his motorcycle trip. It was the next week. I got some new MAC lipsticks. We had summer in, no, not summer. We had Christmas in July, almost July. I guess it was still June, yeah. So we had Christmas in almost July with our friends, which was fun because we got really busy and weren't able to meet with them in December. So we all met up in almost July. And he just had a picture of his bike that was ready to go. And it says, "So ready to get out of here." I think that's it. And then I just ended it with a picture of us and a quote. And that's it. So I am almost done with part 2. So I will do a video once I get that done. Thanks, everyone. Bye.